The mirror never lies, but the lens does. We've all heard the saying that the camera never lies. But have you actually seen real estate posts lately? The photos that they share. The camera, like perception, frames our reality. It doesn't show the whole. What happens when we start believing our reflections more than we believe our essence? Going back to this mirror archetype. Yoko Ono wrote a poem about the mirror. And the Yoko phase is the mirror actually shows what's already there. Your face, your story, your becoming. It's an early awakening phase. The soul begins to see itself not as broken, but as creation itself. This reflection is accurate, but it's incomplete. It can't capture your wholeness. It only captures the surface. And that's what we see when we hold a mirror up and we look at ourselves. Then we have the Louise Hay phase, which is the lens. It's our time of our heart reclamation, that you are loved phase. This lens adds distortion. It filters, the lighting, the angles. We learn to perform for it, to curate our image, even spiritually. Here, the journey is more about reclaiming the heart. It's looking through love's lens instead of fear's lens. You begin to see yourself and others with mercy, not measurement. And that's where most of you are at, which is, further along the line. Some of you are beyond both of them. The Kusama phase. Now, Kusama's poem about the mirror was about surrender and expansion. The you are everything phase. It goes beyond the mirror and beyond the lens. Perception dissolves. The need for reflection falls away because you become the light source itself. This is Gnosis, the God within, no longer mediated through any image. And you realize there is actually never anything to reflect, only light meeting itself. So I want to take us back now to this thought of the camera never lies. And since I started getting into professional photography years ago, I realized very quickly that it does. It depends on the lens. And I'll go talk again about the real estate photos. When you look at those photos, when people are selling properties, especially the inside of the house photos. When you go and you see the house, you're surprised at how small the rooms are because they use a wide-angle lens, and the wide-angle lens makes the room look bigger. Depending on how I take the photo, I can tell a different story. I can lie on the ground at someone's feet and look up with a wide-angle lens, and their feet are huge and their heads are pins. I can stand back and I can zoom in, and I can make it look like they are so much closer to the background than they really are. Because the greater the distance, the more it pulls it in. Even when I take photos of the aurora, what you see on the camera, what the lens takes the photo of, is not what the eye sees. So the lens lies, the camera lies. You can manipulate it without post-processing. You can manipulate it to tell the story you want to tell. We get back to stories. So even something as solid and as permanent as we imagine photos to be, as in from their perspective being true can be a complete and utter fabrication. And that's the fun of professional photography, because you get to tell your story through photos. Now let's bring it back to the human moment. When you see yourself today in glass, in the screen, like me seeing myself right there, hello, on the screen, in another person's eyes, remember, you are not that reflection. You are the radiance behind it. You are the radiance that animates it, not the reflection itself, or even the physical form that creates that reflection. This is God within, meeting God in form. Do you want to look at the card again? When I first looked at it, I thought, well, that looks like a piece of labradorite. It's a pretty simple. It's just showing a shard of mirror. It allows you to see your own reflection. But you know, sometimes, you know, you go, remember, we used to, I don't know if they still do it because I haven't been to a fair in a long time, but you'd go to a fair and you go to the wall of mirrors, the hall of mirrors. And you stand in front of one that makes you look fat, you stand in another and it makes you look tall. You know, mirrors can warp and distort. And then I also took my son to a museum, and we actually went into a room of mirrors, which is what, let me see, what was his name again, because I can't remember these names. I don't hold it that long. Kusama. When Kusama did the infinity mirror thing. So we stepped into it, and you saw reflections of yourself, reflection, until basically it just went on for infinity. And I stood there and marveled at how infinite those images were of myself and my son. He was only little at the time, that's what I mean. So, and that's what Kusama's experience was. It was actually an installation, sorry, not a poem, where he actually put these mirrors up in such a way that you went on into infinity, the infinity mirror. And the whole idea was to expand your ability to understand how vast you are, how you are so much more than the physical form or the reflection that it creates. You are infinity itself. You're not just this one person, you're that person, that person, that person, that person, on and on into infinity. And when we actually look at the world from that perspective, when we see ourselves as just being one with everything, one with source, one with the all that is, when we see ourselves as being a part of that, and that person over there is a part of that as well. And so's that one over there, that one that we think's a really nasty person. That one we don't like their policies, we don't like their rhetoric, we don't like them at all. But they are also a part of the oneness. It goes beyond I am, you are we. What is it? I am me, are you, are we. It goes beyond that, and that we are one. You can almost say that Yoko Ono's is I am me. Louise Hay's perspective is you are me. And Kusama's perspective is we are one. But when you approach life from that perspective of we are one, there's nothing to fight over anymore. There's nothing to hate. There's no division. Now I'm thinking of John Lennon. I don't have one of these for today. So let's place our hands over their hearts and take a nice deep breath. And just say, we are one. I am one with the universe. I am one with Source. I am one with God, whichever you prefer. Pop it down in the comments below to anchor it into your energy fields. If you want to go deeper into this with a sacred honoring practice, I'm just heading over to Ko-fi now to set that up for you. Still free. You'll find the link in the description or in the bio. Much love to you. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back again tomorrow with another daily sacred soul message. In the meantime, you have a beautiful, blessed day.